Hello and welcome to the next video. So in this one we're going to go through blocks. Okay, so to get to blocks, say that you're still on the section page, or if you're on any of the others, basically just go into your experiment page and then either click on blocks if it's not already come up. Okay, so blocks are basically this. So this is where we've got a text block here, we've got a button block there, we've got text here, image there. And there's lots of different ones, as you can see. Oh, and one of the things that I forgot to show you on the previous video as well for sections is, can you see when you hover your mouse over, how you have these little arrows that appear? That's for if you just want to increase or decrease the space in between those sections, then you can actually just do it that way visually. There we go. So I'm just going to move those down. So there you go. So let's move those down a little bit, and it gives everything a little bit more space as well. Okay, right, so go to your experiment page. You're not going to want to do this on one of your normal pages yet. Okay, and first things first is just have a play at what on earth are these blocks. So obviously text, it's really obvious what the text is, but when you actually click on things, so even the existing stuff on here, not only can you change the style, and obviously you're going to pop your content in here and everything else and change the style and stuff like that, but some of them even have other options that you can change. So this is a built-in standard image and text block, okay, but we can decide whether we want the image to be on the left or on the right or at the top or at the bottom. The other thing we can decide is how many images do we want. We could have 2. We could have 3, we could have 4. Okay, I mean, that wouldn't look great, but we could if it was smaller content and things like that and it worked really well. The other thing that we could decide is we could decide on, so let's go back to the right, we could decide on how big the picture is. So how much space is the picture and the text actually taking up? Yeah, okay. And then we can even have a play around with the image alignment as well. There we go. So obviously on that one, then right would look better. Okay. So depending on what you've brought over, when you then go in it, there may then be a settings tab for it as well. Not just the style and the content tab, but the setting one as well. And like I said, obviously, when you go on the content for it, that's where then you will change your image. So I'm just going to put a placeholder image in there at the moment, just so you know what I mean. There we go. So we've got an image in there now. And then this could be about the herbs or something that was being used in here. And then obviously you could change that to whatever your text is about that particular thing. Okay, so this is the area where you actually change your content. Obviously you can do all sorts. You can do the making it bold. You can add other links in there as well if you needed it to link to anywhere externally. You can change, obviously, fonts and styles and things like that as well. You know, you can have there's so much that you can do in there. So again, just have a really good play around with this, okay? And that's basically, again, what this video is going to be about. It's going to be dragging these content blocks on. So I'm just going to save and close that. You do need to hit save and close so that then you can get back to the main block section, okay? So we're just going to drag things over and start having a play with what they actually do. Okay, so like I said, obviously we've just had a play around with what the image and text box is. That's what this one was. Okay, an image and text one. So all we're going to do is now just start dragging things over. Pick any section. It really doesn't matter at this point. Like I said, this isn't our actual proper kind of pages or anything right now, and obviously don't be scared to, in the existing things, just click in and go, okay, how have they done that? So they have gone for an image and a text. They've actually gone for a 3-column layout with the image. So if you're unsure of how they've done this, click on the style, okay, so you may see some things on that, and then click on settings and you'll see other things on that. So obviously to do that, they've gone for 3 for the number of images. They've gone with the image at the bottom, and they've gone with the image aligned to the left, okay? And that's how they've then done this. So then when you go back to the content, you've got column 1, column 2, and column 3, and that's how you will then change each of these reviews to each customer. Okay? All right, so don't be scared to click in the existing stuff and figure out, okay, well, how have they done that? All right. And obviously there's things like this as well, like that's one column right now, but now I can change it to 2. I can also change where the ratio is as well on that column split. So seriously guys, really seriously, don't be scared to have a play around with these things. Okay, now the sign up forms you can ignore because obviously we're going to be covering that in module 4. So ignore the sign up forms for now, but everything else you can genuinely just have a play around with, drag blocks over and get a feel for the ones that you actually like the look of and the layout of and how you can do stuff. So image groups, that would be great if you've got a lot of maybe like portfolio images or product images where you really want to kind of showcase those off. Image card, let's have a look, see what image card does. So I'm just dragging it over into here. So basically image card, it's got an image. So let's add an image so that we know what it's doing. There we go. So we've got an image and then it's actually got a caption in a block of text there. Can you see that? So this is the text here. So again, we just change that to whatever we wanted to change that to. Okay. We can then again style that to whatever we want to style it to. And then the settings it's giving us are we've got margins, so we can choose edge to edge or not. So do you see how now the black borders appeared? But if I go edge to edge, that disappears. We've got image alignment, so we can go left, center, or right. Again, you probably see that better on different image options and things like that. And we've also got the text position, so we could go with left. We could go with top. We can go with right. And then in here, we should be able to change the background color of where that text is. So that's the color of our text and the font of our text and everything. But where it says card, that's this black bit here. So again, we could change that to one of our colors that we bring over from Canva. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So just go through, guys. Seriously, just grab these things, bring them over. All you do is, all I'm doing right now is on a desktop, I'm on my mouse, so I'm left clicking the image block and I'm dragging it over to this about block here. Okay, and it's giving me the option of where do I want to drag it. So I'm just going to go to the bottom because I'm obviously just playing at the moment. So this is obviously an image block. It's going to allow me to upload some images. The settings it's giving me is I can either have it laid out horizontally or I can have it laid out vertically. Okay, so again, this is going to be down to the kind of things that you're doing at the moment. So again, if we just throw a couple of images in there so that we get an idea of what this is actually doing. So again, this would be really good for showing off product images or portfolio images, or if you were doing a community or a hobby site, then photos representing the community and the hobby. Okay. The style, again, we can add borders. All right, we can add all sorts of borders. You can increase how big those borders are if that's the look that you want to go with. You can have rounded borders. So you can do all sorts of really weird and funky things. And again, you can add the box shadows. Okay, so I'm going to remove that border because that doesn't go very well with the box shadow. So I'm going to bring those in a little bit. There we go. That makes it a little bit more subtle, but yeah, there you go. So just have a play. So that's the image group one. And obviously it did give us we can add more images, so apparently we can add up to 5 more images in this image group, and that's actually interesting that by adding a 3rd image it's now made the top one really big and the other ones really small. So you can obviously do some sort of kind of mosaic grid effect, which is pretty nice to know. So there we go. The next one's obviously we've got the image card, we've got image and text, we've got normal text, we've got box text. So this is where again you bring it over and then we can put text within a box.
So again, you know, add as much content as you needed to within there. Okay, in the style thing again, we can change that colour again to whatever our brand colours are or anything. And the settings it's giving us again is either 1 or 2 columns as well. Okay, and again we can play around with the ratio as well. So all you need to do for this video is basically I'd like you to bring every one of these over. Seriously, just bring everyone over and see what it does. All right, so that's a divider. I can choose the color of the divider. I can choose how much padding it's got. I can choose whether it's got a background. Okay, so yeah, and if I added, you know, a lot of padding, that would make that a very big divider. So save and close, so you can see how that's done that, and then I guess I can just move that around by dragging it here. There we go. So that can be moved around. It's not a great example of a nice divider, that, but you get the idea, guys. Okay, this is all about actually having to play. Now, if you've got videos over on your YouTube channel, the other thing you can also do is have a play around with the video blocks as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring a video block in. Don't actually have any links to my videos right now. Let's go to YouTube. Let's just go Celestial Arts. Hopefully it finds me. There we go. Right, so I just grab one of my videos. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. We're doing my logo reveal. Oh, actually no, we can do the really cute little snail. So I'm just going to click in my video and I'm just going to go to share to just grab that, bring it back over. So we're just going to paste that in there, and it's already brought it over, as you can see. And we can also now choose to add a caption. So I'm going to select caption, and then if we now go over to settings, again, we now can choose where that caption goes. So it's going to go right, it can go top, it can go left. I can choose whether it's 1/3, half, 2/3, or 3/4. Okay, so that's really interesting. And again, obviously we can change the background color of that box. So it could be whatever. And we can change the text. So we could go for that, and we could change the size of the text. We can change the alignment. We can change just line height. There we go. Okay. If can also play around with that. Make bits bold, make bits italic, change them to different things. You get the idea, guys. All right. So there you go. That's your homework for this session. All right, come on to your experiment page and experiment. I expect you to have a really good play with what all of these blocks are, including this social follow and the share and the buttons. Just have a right good play. Bring them over, see what they do. Don't be scared to click, once you've added it, click onto settings just to see what it can do. Like this one can actually go to full width as well for the button, okay, which can also be really, really handy. Obviously, you can then change your style if you don't want it to look like the rest of your buttons that you created in your style guide. And obviously, you can then add external links as well. Okay, so just, yeah, do have a play. Okay, I can't emphasize this enough. This is what this session's about. It's having a play. All right, so have a play in your sections from the previous video, have a play with the blocks from this video, and then I'm going to create, we're going to go and create some actual specific pages. Okay, so you're going to learn the kind of things you might want on the contact page, the kind of things you might want the about, and so on and so on. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Have fun. Bye.